Urban Therapy with Sunsun 752. This your daily go getimism number 756 for October 26, 2016. Tonight I want to talk to y'all about not wanting to be yelled at and not meaning to yell at somebody. You know, when people are passionate about the things that they say, the way that they feel and all of that, sometimes they raise their voice. And if you're the type of person that doesn't understand that a person raises their voice is not necessarily yelling at you, then hey, quite honestly, you're going to get your feelings hurt. But it's also up to the person that has the voice that projects that way to make sure that the person that they're talking to understands that you're not yelling at them. Even if you may be talking to them about something that they have done or something that you're disappointed about or something that you're disgruntled about or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that you mean to cuss somebody out. It doesn't mean that you mean to yell at them or holler at them or scream at them or whatever. And sometimes it sounds like you're doing just that. Now, for the individual that's innocent of this alleged crime, like I said, it's their obligation to make sure that if you have a loud voice like I do, like my voice projects, and I get really, really passionate about the things that I say. So when I'm in a discussion with somebody, especially if we're not agreeing with each other, sometimes it can get heated, and if I'm trying to get my point across, my voice may elevate a little bit, you know, and I have to admit, I've had to learn how to tone it down a little bit, and I'm still not all that good at it. So I have to remind somebody, or I have to inform somebody sometimes that I'm not yelling at you, I'm not coming at your neck or whatever, and it's okay if we disagree. But, you know, like when I feel strongly about something, it comes out that way. So it may sound like I'm yelling at you or whatever, but that's not the case. And like I said, I can't just leave it at that. Just like other people who share the same type of problem that I do. You can't just leave it at that. You have to make sure that somebody understands that you're not angry at them, that you're not trying to ridicule them or disrespect them or anything like that. Because it can come off that way and it's not cool. We have to remember that everybody has feelings. The same way that if somebody was coming at your neck, or coming at my neck, I should say, then, you know, I would feel some kind of way, and I would want them to, you know, clear the air, and I would want my point to be understood and to be respected. So to get respect, you have to give respect. There ain't no real way around that. But here's the thing: there's so many things tied into this, because you may have grown up with parents that yelled a lot. You know, you may have grown up with a mother that yelled a lot, but she may have yelled out of love. So maybe everything that she did, she may have yelled or raised her voice. So you get used to those elevated levels of a voice, and it's not a big thing to you. But to other people, it may be a big thing. It may be something that's offensive. It may be something that's disconcerting. It may be something that makes you want to avoid people. And you don't want to push people away. You don't want to do that. We talked about that last night. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, know when to push and know when to pull back. So when it comes to yelling at people, man, you gotta watch your mouth. In all areas of your life, you gotta watch your mouth. You know, it's not always the things that you say; it's the way that you say it. You know, you can tell somebody that you love them, and it can still sound offensive. Like, for example, you can be like, "I fucking love you." Now, inside, I might be feeling that. Like, you don't understand. You know, what I'm not saying is, you know, I'm doing all these things for you, because I'm really feeling you in my heart. And you mean so much to me that sometimes I don't even know what to do with myself. Sometimes I find myself just thinking about you, you know what I mean? Staring at the wall, you know, fantasies that go through my mind. And I knew true love. And if you with me, girl, just make yourself seen. I'll be waiting. I love you. LL Cool J circa 1987. But seriously, you know, sometimes we hear things in our head that we honestly believe that we're saying out of our mouths, and we're not. So you have to make sure that communication is right. But you can't be yelling it. You can't be yelling at everybody. You know what I mean? And it's funny though, because a lot of men and women who have grown up being yelled at a lot, they don't mind being yelled at. Not all of them. Some do, some don't. You know, if they were treated with love, even if somebody was yelling at them, then they get it. But if they were loved but not treated with love, or even told that they were ever loved, but they were yelled at all the time, it's not going to come off right, and their ideal of what love is may come off all wrong. So we got to watch ourselves, man. Bottom line is this: tone it down when you're talking to people. Don't yell at them. Even if they're interrupting you and not letting you get your point across and all that, try not to yell at them, because once the screaming match starts, then the communication is lost and both parties leave feeling offended. And then, because that's when offensive things get said. So you gotta watch yourself and explain yourself. There's nothing wrong with making your explanation clear. And people will listen more if you tone your voice down more. I gotta learn that. I'm still working on that. Maybe some of you watching this video have to learn that, but we all gotta learn that. Everybody doesn't know what you know. Everybody doesn't feel what you feel, and everybody doesn't do what you do. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, all that yelling and screaming and all of that. You know, it's one point I wanted to bring up. And that's when two people who may be used to being yelled at or yelling at other people or whatever, but maybe they understand that this one point I must make sure I get across before we end this video, is that a lot of times when people are being yelled at, if they're not used to being yelled at, they think that somebody is about to get violent with them. You have to be careful of that, because somebody who thinks that you're threatening them with violence, even if you're not, but because you're speaking loud and showing your body language like you're going to hit somebody, they may hit you first. So that's why it's important to watch your mouth. But I'll say this, for people who don't understand this, don't overstand that. A lot of people that yell and scream and talk all loud and everything like that, they're not the ones who get violent. Dogs who bark do not bite. Dogs who don't bark bite. Think about it. Think about the trained bad dogs that you've known. They wasn't all because 9 times out of 10 when you hear a dog barking, you see their tail wagging. If their tail wagging, that means that they're not harmful. But if you see that tail straight and you don't see that dog barking or hear him barking, and the only bark you did hear was right before he about to snap on you, so it's like he's already too close for you to get away by the time he goes, and that's it. Dogs who bark don't bite. Dogs who don't bark, those are the ones you have to watch out for. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. The Urban Therapy with Son show is tonight. And tonight we're talking about, does forgiveness really free you? Does forgiveness really free you? You know, we're going to be getting real deep into this whole forgiveness thing, because some people think that you can forgive, but you can't forget. Some people think that you have to forgive and forget, or you haven't even forgiven at all. Some people feel like, you know, forgiveness is beyond them and it's not necessary. Some people feel like you have to forgive because that's the only way that you can be free, because you'll be carrying around all that emotional baggage all over you, you know, all over the place and throughout your life if you don't practice forgiveness. Is any of it true? Does it apply to everybody? Do you feel the same way that most people have taught you to feel about forgiveness, or do you have your own version? Let's talk about it tonight on the Urban Therapy with Son show. It's going to be hot. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call-in number is 319-527-6199. Once again, the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and then you can comment. You know, you don't have to comment. You don't have to press number 1. You can just call and listen to the show. But if you want to make a comment, express yourself, press number 1, and I'll identify you by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. If you need to listen online because you don't feel like calling in, you can listen to the entire show online. And that's blogtalkradio.com/Son752. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. Matter of fact, about 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying?